Hi, my name is Solomon Capri. I'm the developer of The Doors That Led to Nowhere, and this is a 100% walkthrough of the game. That Thunderstrike is important to the story. It'll come up later. Standard FPS controls. There's nothing in this room aside from this chest behind the door with 10 gems. Our little friend here, this Eye, who will stalk you throughout the entire game. Take note of a platform up there. Obviously, we can't get to it yet. Spooky spikes are very spooky. We have some basic parkour here. I almost didn't make that jump, but you can press space again to mount ledges. With that being said, there's a secret over there, and we can walk along this rail. And the player doesn't know this yet, but if you press space, you can mount the ledge, as I did with that pillar earlier. And then we can increase our max life with that little power-up. So really, if you don't feel like doing parkour, you can come up here, mount that ledge. Not useful for speed runs, but if you don't feel like jumping, then yeah, that's an alternative option. So here we are at the Kingdom Outskirts. It's just a nice little safe space where you can heal up, talk to these strange NPCs. Another lost soul. Rest a while, for we are safe from him here. Who is him? We don't know yet. I haven't seen you before. You must have just left your world. Don't look so confused. Just try to remember where you were before coming here. So that tells us that we are not in the regular world, if that wasn't already obvious. Drink from the fountain is the only way that keeps us sane. The fountain saves your game and heals you back to full. All that's beyond this point is ruined. I closed off this gate because it's too dangerous to go. Anyone I've seen go past here has either never come back or it's not the same when they returned. Stay here where it's safe. Here we have another 10 gems. Gems can be used to respawn, or later you'll be able to buy power-ups with them. Press that lever to unlock that gate. And here we are in a fast travel room. You'll be able to access these doors later on in the game. Nothing else we can do in this room, except these archways you can actually just continuously climb on just by spamming space. And we have another chest up here. That one with 20 gems. There's no fall damage in this game. This looks interesting. Some sort of barrier is blocking the door. It's cool to the touch and somehow feels like solid steel and jelly at the same time. Interesting. And this we cannot reach yet, but it sure does look interesting. And if we come over here, this is the only other place we can go. Spacebar to jump up ledges. So we're going to... We can't climb up here. We're not quite tall enough. But we can mount this one, go up this ledge, jump up and slide down green walls, continuously press space to jump up, and we have another hidden little chest over here. So in the top right it says checkpoint updated, so when you die, you can spend 3 gems to respawn at the last checkpoint. just wall jump off of these. Also, if you continuously just jump up, you can stall while on these green walls. So you don't have to have perfect timing with these. And then we slide down this one and find the next door. Corpse of a strange being. Ooh, mysterious. So the ceiling is closing in on us. Very scary. Just parkour through here. You can faintly tell there's a bridge. And I just made it. And behind this wall is another secret chest. Barrier that blocks a path. The steel/jelly barrier. Hello, friend. So here we have the most important power-up in the early game, Blink. Every 2 seconds you can perform sort of Genji Dash from Overwatch. Boosts you forward in the direction you are facing. So you can just skip those platforms, and we can come over here. Normally you would blink up to this pillar, but you can actually just blink directly up there if you jump first. It's a useful speedrunner tactic. And you can blink through these walls. As the description said, you can phase through certain walls. This part's a little tricky. You jump first, hold forward as far as you can, and then blink when you're in distance to phase through this blue barrier. If we look around this tower, there's platforms up there. If we go in, there's nothing in here, unless you look up. And here's where the platforms end. Again, look up. You'll have to look up quite a bit in this game. And then here is a secret right here. Another upgrade. And our little friend watching us again. And we're back where we started. In fact, this guy even says, "I saw you enter that door over there and come out the one on top. This place has no end. I've given up on trying to find a way out. I can't remember how I arrived here in the first place." Obtain the power to phase through space, useful chaotic ability, be careful of the places you're tempted to go, da 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 da. Yeah, that's nice. So now with Blink, we can come over here, grab this, your Fragment. Press tab to view the map. And if you hover over any space with a question mark, it will tell you what power-up you missed from there. So there is a power-up here. I can see a faint glow over there. So if we shift up to here, to that platform, a health upgrade. And there's another one in this room earlier. Let's see where we can go now that we have Blink. Here it is. There's there's nothing left in these rooms. Note that treasure chests do not show up on the map when they are not obtained. Treasure chests will only contain gems and health. If we come through here, there's no going back. A red barrier is blocking the door. You cannot blink through red barriers. This looks a little sketchy. However, in this room in particular, you can walk. Here we meet our first enemy, the Achroma Soldier. You can avoid all types of damage except for spikes using Blink. And then we have our sword. So if you just hold left click, you will continuously attack. So this fight's pretty easy, just hold left click, you can out damage him. And now we can go back. And our main character is very afraid. Oh god, what was that thing? Pain feels too real, please let me wake up soon. He still thinks he's in a dream right now. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, we don't know yet. And if we talk to this guy, he sees our weapon, he sees how powerful it looks, and he lets us through. So now we are at the Etyrna Castle. So this does not look suspicious at all. Oh no, it was a trap. But if you just blink and attack at the same time, these guys can't really do much to you. And then sometimes they drop hearts. So now we don't need to go back and heal up at the fountain. These purple orbs, the Chaos Orb, will increase your damage by 2. By default, you start out with 10 strength, and you can get pretty freaking powerful if you collect enough Chaos Orbs, to the point where you can take out a lot of enemies within seconds. If you took a lot of damage during that fight, you can just heal up back at the fountain. So here we see 1, 2, 3 doors available to us. These green doors denotes we will enter a different region. So these forest areas typically disable your blink. Here we see a cute little bunny that we will murder and get its gems. Or rather, I should say, set their souls free. A sword that frees corrupted souls. So if we come over here, this is another trap. We meet our first Achroma Knight, and his attacks deal 25 damage each, whereas the soldiers deal 15 damage each. Since we don't have our blink, the only way we can beat this guy is to cheese him using the environment. So hide behind trees, climb the trees, or use this hillside, get some high ground on him. And I actually killed him at the same time as he killed me. Enemies do not respawn if you kill the entire group of enemies. Since he was alone, I just needed to kill him, and now he won't respawn. And we can climb up here, but since our blink is disabled, we can't reach up there, so we just need to go back to the castle courtyard. And our blink is re-enabled now that we are out of the forest. And we can come see what's up here, this other forest door. We see a big crystal. Strike that with a sword, and we'll break into smaller crystals. Our blink is once again disabled, so we can't reach up there, nor can we reach that lever. But we can. You see that there is a health upgrade over there. You can walk in water. There will never be a water where you fall in and die. So we can climb that pillar, come over here to these wooden platforms, and get another health upgrade. I missed that jump, but that's okay. Because we are done with this room. So back to the Etyrna Castle. In these pots, we can strike with the sword. Sometimes they drop gems, sometimes they drop nothing, like that one. And sometimes they drop hearts as well. If we examine this, a destroyed mechanism of some sort, covered in dust. How peculiar! Strike Entropy Flames to recharge Blink. So here's where the parkour might get a little difficult for a lot of people. So the best practice with these Entropy Flames is to attack just before you blink. That way the hitbox you throw out from the sword sort of lingers while you're blinking. So that's where we need to go. We see some power-ups over there. This is one of the most difficult sections of the game if you only have blink. Later we can come back here and it will be a lot easier, but it is possible now, so we're going to do it now. So you want to come to about the right before the ledge, and you can blink to that orange crystal. Then you need to blink upward. So basically what happened was we activated that crystal. It teleported us into the air about to where that crystal is. And then we want to fall forward onto that crystal. So I'm holding forward, I blink upward, and then I can interact with that crystal. Note, you do have to press F on the crystal to activate it. You cannot activate it by hitting it. You can't activate it by walking into it. You need to press F. So this section is easiest if you blink upward above the flame and then strike downward. You just do that 4 times. Or you can just blink into it. Now we have a health and damage upgrade, and we can teleport back. Note that if you fall into the void, you will respawn for free. It's not counted as a death. However, you will regenerate any lost health. So through that green crystal path, we arrive at the Etyrna Castle. Very spoopy. That hint says attack and blink together for more power. So we can just line these guys up and attack both of them at the same time. And then you want to sort of back up to give your blink time to recharge before they can attack you again. So it's best to keep a little bit of distance from these guys. If you took some damage, here's a few pots you can hopefully get some hearts from, because there is going to be another fight in this hallway. These guys also have a ranged attack. if you jump, their AI prioritizes using the ranged attack. So you can sort of use that to manipulate their AI. Up here we see a lever. Just dash up and attack that. And we have another safe room. We see this mirror over here. If you are playing for the story, here's where the character reflects and he remembers how he got here. I was in a field and there was a huge storm right overhead. I saw a bright flash and then I woke up here. Am I dead? Is this the afterlife? Was I a good person? Was I a bad person? I can't remember doing anything noteworthy with my life. Maybe this is where nobodies like me go, an endless void. But if there's even the slightest chance of there being a light at the end of the tunnel, I have to keep pushing forward. So there he remembers a bright flash and then he woke up here. So that's what that thunderstrike was at the very beginning of the game. He got struck by lightning. Unlucky guy. So we can unlock this fast travel door. And we can see a hidden room over here. And pots respawn infinitely. So technically you can get infinite money if you are patient enough and just walk in and out of rooms all the time. But that shouldn't be necessary. There are plenty of upgrades throughout the game. Since we hit that lever in the other room, we can access this door. This gap we cannot cross, but we do see a lever over there that we can't hit just yet. So the only way we can go is into this room. But this little monolith looks pretty suspicious. And now we are trapped with the Etyrna Sentry. His design is very much inspired by the Sentry elites from Slay the Spire. So what we need to do here is just dash into him. You want to keep a good distance. Whenever he pauses after charging up, that means he's going to shoot 3 times. He shoots anywhere between 1 laser to 3 lasers. So right there he shoots 3 because he paused. If you take damage, there's 2 pots available. These hearts give you 30 health. You can get at least 3 swings per dash. You just need to hold down left click. It's better to hold down left click than to spam left click. Although spamming left click can work just as well. Now we get our second power-up, the Void Rip. Right-click to tear through space. Kind of a vague description, but we can demonstrate it here. It is our projectile ability. So over here is another health upgrade. And we can use Blink to make it back, however it is just quicker to fall into the void, and anytime you respawn without a checkpoint set, it will just respawn you back to where you came into the room. So now with our Void Rip, we can access this area. Little Zelda puzzle jingle. So we see 2 graves over here. Here lies King Etyrna, ruler of the kingdom of endless time. Here lies Queen Entropa, ruler of chaos and ever-expanding probabilities. So we don't know who these people are, but they must be pretty important, seeing as how their graves have all these cute little flowers, while all the other graves don't get crap. But that's alright. Except this grave does get a little chest. A nice little donation to whoever this guy was. I don't know. So we see another Soul Orb up there. But this game was heavily inspired by Ico, and a lot of the enemies just sort of spawn out of nowhere and surprise you. So every encounter in this game would be a surprise. So our Void Rip does pretty decent damage. It did around a third of that guy's health. Now we are at, I believe, 140 max health. So there is a combo you can do that will deal a crap load of damage if you slash with left click and then immediately right click. The Void Rip does an animation cancel of your left click attack. However, the hitbox of the left click still lingers. Also, if you dash, we know that if you dash and attack, the attack's power gets increased. The same is with the right click. The Void Rip goes twice as fast and does more damage. So if you combine the animation cancel with the dash, you can almost one-shot an Achroma soldier with that combo. So we'll demonstrate it on this guy who's about to spawn. So let's give him some space. There we go, that was the combo. So it's left click, right click, and it's actually shift, left click, right click. And you need to do it all within a fraction of a second. So some advanced tech, but it can be rewarding if you pull it off. So now we're in this sort of spooky red area. I wonder what that could mean. Another fast travel door. Unlock that, and now that we have dash, we can see what's up here. It's another chest. Just 10 gems, but they will add up over time. So here we are at the first major boss. The Sentry was more of a mini-boss, still technically a boss. The Achroma Paladin has 4 attacks. He likes to lead with either the 2 swipes or that shockwave attack. So it's best to kill these 2 soldiers first. None of the enemies in this game have predictive aiming, so you can kind of just walk in circles around them and just jump over that shockwave attack. You want to stay at this range that I'm at, and you can either cheese him with spamming Void Rip, or if you're speed running, you can do the combo that I showed you. So once he reaches half health, he's going to do that red orb attack. They will slowly home in on you for a second. He will also start doing 2 slams instead of 1. Well, he alternates between doing 1 slam and 2 slams. So that time he did 2. If you're close enough to him, he will try to do a melee attack, or he'll just do the ranged attack. There's the melee attack. The melee attack does 25 damage per hit, so does those ranged sides do 25 damage. So the best tactic is to just stay at a mid-range, dash in, and then get out. And every major boss, drop drops a nice little heart container for us. So this is the only way we can go now. Is it time for my soul to finally pass on? Nope, it's time for you to finally wake up. So here we see a doctor and this woman who found us in a field and took us to the hospital. Her name is Emma, and we find out that the main character's name is Etienne. Two names that start with E and sound familiar to two other names we just recently learned, Entropa and Etyrna. Could it be a coincidence? Maybe. Etienne is confident that that was not a dream, although everything says otherwise. The fact that he woke up in a hospital bed. So flash forward to 8 weeks later, we are in our room with an advertisement for Rhythm Realm, my next project, and Emma is calling us. So she wants to go to the park with her dog Sputnik. She wants you to come with. And here's Sputnik. He's a good boy. And oh no, the hint text from the other world has followed us into the real world. My friend complimented me on these graphics. He said, these are some sick graphics. I'm like, thanks. You like the crappy little N64 graphics? Yeah, every model, every sprite, texture was me, except for the skyboxes. Those are the only graphics that I did not make. So there's only one way for us to go. If we walk that way, it's just going to hit an invisible wall. But if we come over here, we now find ourselves at this strange island in the middle of the park with a giant tree. So Etienne thinks he has been transferred back to the other realm that he was trapped in. And we hear this voice talking to us. Your souls are mine. Various traumatic images flash on screen, and we are back. So Emma snapped us out of that little PTSD episode. I love you too. Well, isn't that nice? So yeah, the beautiful music plays, and then he goes on a soliloquy about their life, how nice their life is, but we're gamers, we don't read. Life is perfect with Emma. And then, oh no, a stock car crash sounds. And now Emma's in a coma, and this takes place 8 months. 8 months after that park incident. And we hear Emma's voice, but it's all in our head. So Etienne believes she is trapped in the dark dimension. So now we need to find a way to stop our heart so we can access the other dimension. Here we see a robot version of Sputnik. The Sputnik GB. GB stands for good boy because he's a good boy. Check these cabinets, nothing in there. Check these cabinets, nothing in there. Can't go through this door. Trying to stop our heart. Maybe I could electrocute myself, but I can't use Emma's monitor. So we use this heart monitor. And suspension of disbelief, electrocuting yourself with the wiring of a heart monitor. Probably possible. I don't know if it will be enough to stop your heart, but yeah, we're back here. I can feel Emma's presence. She's somewhere in this screwed up world. So if we look at our map, we're in a completely different area from where we started out originally. We are in the Entropic Woods. If we come over here, we can just walk on this void. Anytime you see the ground sort of phasing into darkness, that means there is a floor. We have 10 more gems. And that is it for this room. So there's a few things in this room. There's 2 rabbits over here, hidden in the grass. There is a big crystal over here. And a Soul Orb in the back right. And up there is where we're supposed to go. However, I'm not going to go over there just yet. We'll parkour our way over here. And here's an optional door. And if we walk forward, we encounter 3 soldiers. So if we line them up, attack them all at once with our Void Whip, and just out-damage them. Because we can't use Blink, so we just need to out-DPS them. This red barrier unlocks. Intentionally, you're supposed to come back and unlock these because you can't blink to reach that pillar, right? However, we can just climb trees. You can just spam space to climb the tree. And that's it for this room. So if we come over here, another parkour section. These vines you can just climb. And we see our first mini sentry. Mini sentries are the only enemies that respawn, by the way. And be careful with that platform. It moves in and out of the wall. And we climb this vine and we So these platforms alternate every couple seconds. So you just want to wait a second in between each jump and then climb these vines. If you want to go back, you can just walk along this edge. We can't reach that rock just yet, so the only way for us to go is by wall jumping onto these. And here, this platform moves up and down, so you want to just continuously jump on this green wall to stall while you wait for this platform to come back up. And then this crystal, we can get a whopping 4 gems. Let us respawn 1 time. And the music cut out. Ooh, must mean a boss. Not technically a boss. It is our first encounter with an Achroma Marauder, flying enemies. We don't have our blink, so the only way to dodge his attacks is to weave in and out with WS strength. So you want to get close to him, then immediately back up as soon as he growls. And use your or if you have high enough health, you can just out DPS him. And now we unlock the double jump, obligatory in every parkour game. And what's that, 20 gems? Nice, we take those. And aside from this big crystal over here, that's it for this room. So with our double jump, we can now go see what's over there. So there's a couple ways to do this. You can either come to this platform wall, I mean green wall. I don't know why I keep saying platform. Note that if you wall jump, you do not get back your double jump. You only get back your double jump by touching the ground. An easier way is for us to just double jump to here, then double jump to here, and now we're back over here. So what we want to do is double jump to this rock, double jump to this ledge. That's a solid wall. We can go underneath it, and then double jump back up. Another way, and a much easier way, and faster if you're doing a speed run, I'm going to backtrack to this platform, is if you jump and then immediately double jump, the momentum of the jump carries into your double jump, so we can just bypass this entire section. So using that trick of using the momentum of jump, we can come up here. 10 more gems. And this room looks familiar. We have been here before. Seeing as how we have double jump, and also we could have done this when we unlocked Wyvern earlier. Hit that switch. And in this room is a very important power-up, lightning speed. But first, we need to fight a little mini-boss. Two soldiers and a knight, but we have our blink back. So really what you want to do is you want to joust with the knight. You typically don't want to dash away because he's just going to continue chasing you. So if he charges you, you just dash through him. So you're able to get damage done while avoiding his attack at the same time. So you dash through him, then you start backing up to give yourself time to recharge. And that's how you fight a knight. So here we unlock lightning speed. It enables you to blink backwards, which is... it has its niche use, but we're more here for the speed increase, a 35% speed increase, which will let you avoid most later game attacks with ease. So it's very important that you pick up the power-up. It's technically optional, however, you will have a hard time dodging late game attacks without it. So let's look at our map. Oh yeah, we did miss a Soul Orb. So we're gonna backtrack a little bit. The Soul Orb is over here. So we want to wait for the spike to go down. And if you touch the sides of the spikes, you will also die, so be careful with how you space this. And don't get too greedy, even though we are faster now. It's best to just wait for the spike to go back down. And now that we have double jump, we can just skip this section and skip that section. So now the only place for us to go is through this door. And now that we have double jump, we can come see what's up here. Two soldiers, you can just make it to that corridor, but since we don't have blink, we can just cheese these guys using the environment to our advantage. And if we see on the map, there's another secret here. And here it is. And another crystal over here. Here's a crystal that always contains 2 hearts, in case you took damage during that soldier fight. There's another crystal over here. And this is the only part of the forest biome that lets you use Blink. So with that, you can reach this chest, get 20 gems. Sorry, 30 gems. So over here, with that Soul Orb. And I accidentally triggered a fight overnight, which is okay, because it's got nothing on us. Note the same thing with the soldier. You can manipulate his AI to spam the ranged attack by jumping, and prioritize using the ranged attack if you're in midair. Because these guys use the same AI as the soldier. And these guys we can just go past, but it is pretty satisfying killing them with one void rip. Plus they make a funny sound when they die. So we see over there, there's an area that we can just make it since we have lightning speed. What we need to do is dash, then double jump, then dash. Dash, dash, double jump, dash. And you need to do it from the top of that tree so you have enough height to do that second dash. Get a free Chaos Orb. We see what's in here. New biome, Serpent Cave. Space to swim. Inside this little pipe is a chest. So you can really spam space to swim upwards, and the gravity is decreased, so moving around, dodging attacks is a little more difficult. Our blink is still the same, though. Our void rip is still the same. Up here is another chest. Just blink through. Same with this section of spikes. Through here is a boss. However, I mean, let's come back to that. Let's come back to that boss. He's a little bit of a toughie. So you might notice we have quite a bit of gems now, but you know, since I know you're a gamer and you're pretty much a god of the game, we don't need to use gems to respawn. So what do we do with all these gems? Well, we're about to find out. Let's just ignore these guys. No enemies in this game have predictive aiming, so you can just run through these guys, really. And now we make it to this other little area of, well, not little, it's another safe space. And our NPCs from earlier made it over here. After we left. This guy says he feels the presence of Queen Entropa through this gate. So we'll remember that for later. Census Queen Entropa through that gate. This guy's interesting. He is an Entropic merchant who will sell us some orbs. So, should you get Soul Orb or Chaos Orb? We're all about that glass cannon build. However, later in the game, you'll start to rely less on the melee attack and more on some other abilities that you will unlock. So, Soul Orb is also valid. You can get 5 Soul Orbs for the price of 2 Chaos Orbs, so either way is fine. They're both equally valid. However, if you're speedrunning and you're already not planning on getting hit by anything, you go Chaos Orb. So if we go into this tower, we stall on this wall to get our flank back. We can go through this door and see what's up here. This is a dead end. This barrier will not go down even if we fight these guys. Using the tech with the animation cancel and void rip. Note these side attacks do home for a fraction of a second, so if you dash through them when you're first spawning in, they might still home in. So these are some late game enemies, so we're not really supposed to be here yet. However, we do get a fair bit amount of gems from these guys. So there's nothing else in this room for us. Fast travel door. Unlock that really quick. Fast travel doors are pretty important. It looks like the crappy developer screwed up the lighting on this wall. Nah, it's just a wall you can walk through. And with that, we have more money to get another Chaos Orb. And there's, I believe, 5 chests in total in this room. 4 chests behind the fast travel room. One hidden underneath this building. Gems from those crystals. The big crystals typically give you a random amount of gems. But this door is giving me the heebie-jeebies. Well, we can't go through it yet anyways, so we'll have to come back to that door later. If we come up here, this is where we're supposed to go. Everyone who's play tested this game sees this chest and thinks, yeah, that's a trap. And they would be right. So really, you can just line these guys up and do the tech. That is dash, left click, right click. Was it worth our trouble? 20 gems? I'd say it was. And there's a bunch of pots hidden in this room. Extra health. There's a couple more over there, a couple more over there. And we can faintly see a translucent bridge that does have a break in it, so you need to dash over that. Get ourselves into a circle. So we're already at 200 max health, and we're only about a third way through the game. So you can ramp up your stats pretty quickly in this game. And we see something that's down here. We hear a static electricity. That's the Chaos Orb. I can't fit through these pillars. However, since we have lightning speed, we can make it through this spike trap. But you do need to blink, otherwise you'll get caught by the spikes. And we teleport back to where we started. We see a gate over there. However, that orb we can't access yet. So, like in that scene from Finding Nemo with the trench, if you go through the trench, you're screwed. If you go over the trench, you're screwed. If we go through, you see a knight. Let's just joust with him really quick. And if we go over the trench, these guys spawn. However, these guys should be significantly easier now that you have your blink back. You want to distance yourself to where, if you blink, you'll be right in his face. That way you can just continuously slash at him when you're in his face. So, if we come around here, there's a chest hidden right there. I almost just died there. And if we come around this way, to the left, we can just bypass both of those fights. However, if you even step slightly onto this flooring, that will trigger the knight to spawn. So, since we have lightning speed, this will be pretty easy. It's possible without lightning speed. However, I want to demonstrate something. Since we have lightning speed, blink, double jump, blink. It might even be possible to make it up to that ledge. If we come around to the left, another hidden chest. That one's 20 gems. Juicy. So, this ledge is pretty tricky if you don't have lightning speed. If you have lightning speed, you can just dash, double jump, then dash again. However, if you don't have lightning speed, you need to blink to this one, stall on this wall, blink again, and then double jump. Come around the corner, there's 2 more ledges we can get up, and now we're on top of this wall. Over there is where we need to go, but there is a chest hidden. So if we use this crystal right now over here, everybody always looks around here thinking there's going to be a chest. Unfortunately, not all roads can lead to riches, but there is a few pots, you know, for your trouble. So we're at the Achroma Temple. Unfortunately, we can't make it through here just yet. Can't blink through. Note that our Void Rip can fit through there. We need to go to the island over here. Look at that beautiful edge tearing. You see, the budget was astronomical for this game. Quote from Mark. Same drill with these guys. Just run in the same direction and they go. And you really want to time your attacks for when they're done attacking. So let him attack, then you counterattack. And all's well that ends well. So dash to this platform, then then dash to that platform. Note, that's not the only thing in this room. There's still a Soul Orb over there. However, that's like 50 meters off the ground. Oh yeah, there's a chest over there. I don't feel like going back over there, so we will be back in this room. So we're gonna get that chest and that Soul Orb. But now is not the time. You can faintly hear the sound of a Soul Orb nearby. It's not up here. It's down here. However, if you touch the ground in this room, it'll trigger a denser fog. Now, there's just some soldiers. You can handle them with ease. In this room, look up. There's a pillar here, a pillar here. There's the Soul Orb over here. There's about... There's 5 different spots for treasure in this room. If you get some height, the fog becomes less dense. However, if you're on the floor, you see that the fog becomes more dense. So it's best to travel this room on the trees. Okay, this guy thinks he's him, but he's not. Some pots over there, not really worth the trouble. See another ruin over here. It is, of course, trapped by a couple soldiers. You may not be able to see them, but if your crosshair is over, or not crosshair, reticle, whatever you want to call it, you'll still be able to see their health UI. So if you lose track of them, just sort of spin around until you find their health bar. Crystal over here. And another chest over here. And another chest over here. I wouldn't consider getting every chest part of 100%ing. I would say just fighting every boss and getting every Chaos Orb, every Soul Orb, and every ability part of 100%ing. However, if you have trouble in the later bosses, you can stock up on gems and get more Soul and Chaos Orbs. Everything in this room. So if we climb the trees, we can see where we want to go. Over here is where we need to be. So this jump leg, dash, double jump, you know the drill. Grab that blink energy, dash, dash, double jump. Dash, double jump. Once you unlock the double jump, you have a lot more freedom of how you want to traverse certain parkour. So if you just fall into this fog, there's nothing for us to do here except grab this power up. So Lightning Flux, it's an 8-second cooldown. It's useful for disengaging. So if you hold in a certain direction and then press E, it will boost you in the direction you're holding in. So I'm going to use it here to escape all of these guys, and then dash back in to re-engage. So they got completely shredded. And then E is also used to trigger these static orbs. Oh no, I lost a gem. Rip. So we see in the distance a giant pillar. The thing about these jump pads, the same principle applies as using your initial jump to boost the momentum of your double jump. Also, now that we have lightning flux, we can add that to our momentum as well. And if we use them, if we use the jump pad, our double jump, and lightning flux all together, we can go insanely high. And this is why fast travel doors are so important, because if you had not unlocked the fast travel door in the world tree, you would need to backtrack through all of this, and nobody wants to do that. So now that we have this ability, we can go in various different places. This is how we progress. There was another one of these orbs over here, and there was another one of these orbs over here. So let's check out what's over here first. Right here. Trigger that, and now we're on this platform in the distance. Two knights, this can be a little tricky, but the same principle applies, just dash through them. If you have them lined up, you can dodge both of their attacks and counterattack at the same time. Here's that Chaos Orb we were missing. And a bunch of gems as well. So we can use Lightning Flux as sort of a triple jump. And the NPCs are in different spots. They have different dialogue every time they're in a different spot. So Bloom here talks about you using Void Rip to break through projectiles. Every projectile in this game has a certain amount of health, so if I use Void Rip on the Achroma Soldier's projectile attacks, the Void Rip can break through, I believe, 3 of their projectiles, but after that, the Void Rip will break. And this guy talks about his story. Mentions Entropa, mentions the Achroma, and he mentions a creature called Nidhogg from Norse mythology, of course. And he talks about how the Nidhogg was corrupted by the Achroma, and he hears its cries in the distance. A bit of foreshadowing there. So where I want to go next, there was a static orb in the library. Oh, and this chest here I missed. So here we have our first optional boss, the Achroma Hex. There's no particular strategy for the Achroma Hex, aside from what you already know. Use Blink to engage. Use Blink as your offensive ability. And then use Lightning Flux to disengage. Or use Void Jump to disengage. These flames home in on you for a second, and then they stop homing in on you, so just back up. And they'll stop homing in on you. So, the Hex has a certain attack pattern. Since I brought him down to half health, he will immediately use that Red Orb attack. And now he's going to go back to the regular attack pattern. His attack pattern is Shadow Hand, Scythe, Shadow Hand, Flames. And I'm not going to kill him just yet because I want to show you his other attack. So when he goes to the center of the room, he's about to light the floor on fire. You can just stand on this table and be sure to dodge the scythe he's going to throw at you. So that was his second attack. His third attack, he charges up and then he does a big AoE, so just make sure you're out of his range. And that's the Hex. And there's also 4 pots available in this fight. You can skip cutscenes by holding F, by the way. There's 4 pots available. Here we have the Soul Orb, a Chaos Orb hidden on top of the chandelier, and our next power-up, Remembrance. Gaze into the reflection of your soul. Well, what does that mean? If we look into the menu, we can see a better description of it. Blink becomes Rending Blink, enables chaining a second blink with a slightly longer cooldown, and Void Rip fires twice. Void Rip fires twice, that's pretty obvious. Rending Blink, the sword will automatically slash when you blink. However, let's not forget that melee attack has a lingering hitbox, so if you attack, then do the Rending Blink, the regular attack hitbox still lingers and it still follows you through when you blink. So you can get some extra damage if you still attack and then blink. So it's like you're attacking twice. And then you combine that with the animation cancel Void Rip, and you can do a lot of damage with that. If you're interested in the lore of the game, there's some diary pages from King Etyrna. And that is the chain of a second blink. If you blink immediately after your first blink ends, you can blink a second time. The timing is pretty tight, so if you want to blink in other directions, you need to be quick about it. So what I like to do, pretend there's like a knight right there. Blink, blink. Now you just dash through him twice, and he's dead. See, I could have gone around that corner if I was actually good at the game. So, where do we want to go next? So, there's a Chaos Orb right there that we have access to now that we have Lightning Flux. The lighting in this room is pretty dark. I was confused for a second there. Lightning Orb is over there. And we can only reach it now that we have Lightning Flux. So again, use Lightning Flux as your triple jump. I almost got demonetized there. Use Lightning Flux as your triple jump. And use it after Void Rip, and then you can use your chained blink, and you can get really high with that. High as in height, not the other kind of high. So we can now go to this fight. You know how earlier I said let's hold off on it? Well, now we're ready for that. Nidhogg that the merchant was telling us about earlier. He's now known as the Achroma Serpent because he's been corrupted by the Achroma. He starts the fight with only 2 attacks. He alternates. He does the melee attack, which you can just avoid by dashing through him. And then he'll target the position you were last before he starts charging you. So you just need to swing away. It's easier if you have lightning speed. With his ranged attack, if you're towards the bottom, you just spam space to swim up. So right there, I cycled my cooldowns poorly, so he was able to get that attack off on me. If you can't swim away fast enough, use Lightning Flux to dodge his second swipe. When he gets down to half health, he will add the Rage Orbs plus a charge to his attack pattern, and then he'll resume his normal attack pattern of his charge attack. Then when he does his range attack, he'll do it 3 times. If you hide behind this stalactite, the range attack will break before it can hit you. Those orbs home in on you, so it's best not to dash through them, it's best to dash to the side. However, with every other attack he does, it's perfectly fine to dash through them, so I'm going to do that for this attack. That is the Achroma Serpent. And now we unlock probably the most important power-up in the game, Growing Void. It reduces our Void Rip's cooldown by a couple seconds. If we hold right click, it charges it up. And if we hold it down for even longer, that's an insanely powerful attack. And combined with Remembrance, it fires twice. It won't deal double damage. I scaled back the damage of Void Rip if you're using it with Remembrance. So the 2 Void Rips will deal 1.5 times the amount of damage as 1 Void Rip. So there's nowhere else we can go, really, aside from this area. This is how we progress the stories through here. We are at Entropa's Garden. So there's a jump pad blocked by this barrier, and this barrier will go down as we reach 2 damage. So Remembrance is technically an optional power-up. There's a couple ways you can go about reaching the top here. If you combine the jump pad with the double jump and lightning flux, you can get enough height that way. If you have Remembrance, you can get enough height that way. If you are speedrunning, you can bypass that Marauder fight entirely. My best friend actually discovered this route. It only works if you have Remembrance, though. However, if you're speedrunning, you know, I'm not entirely sure if Remembrance is optimal if you're speedrunning. I imagine it is, because you can just do insane amounts of damage with with Growing Void and Remembrance. So for this section, you don't want to hold down any direction, you just want to let it play out. And this crystal right here is how we get back if you needed to go back for whatever reason. Behind this door is a chest, and there's nothing else in this room. A fountain, and the music stopped. I wonder what that could mean. Here we have the Achroma Wyvern. It's recommended to fight him after you have at least one of the optional power-ups, Remembrance or Growing Void. It's definitely doable without either of them, but it is a lot easier with it. So he has a set attack pattern, it will never change. He shoots 3 fireballs. You can just run away from those. Then he'll fly to one of these 8 orbs. He'll shoot these orbs. You can either just run out of the way, or shoot them down with your void grip. You don't want to avoid this attack using your dash, because you need to save your dash for when he does that charge attack. So you can either use these jump pads to avoid his attack, use the jump pad and you double jump, or use lightning flux. It's easier to dodge those if you have lightning speed. However, if you don't have lightning speed, you can just use the jump pad and your double jump. The thing about Growing Void is that it also scales its damage if you shift. So there we just did a whole lot of damage from one attack. What I did there was charge up Void Rip, then let it rip alongside Blink. The Blink amplified its attack power. So here we see Emma, and if we remember earlier, Fallen said that he felt the presence of Queen Entropa, alluding to the fact that Emma and Queen Entropa are connected in some way. However, before we can reach her, we wake back up in the hospital, unfortunately. And there she is in the other room. The doctor thinks he's crazy, because Etienne's talking about how he saw her in another dimension or whatever. We're gamers, we don't read. So here we're back in our living room. That's some artwork from Rhythm Realm, a game that's I actually put on hold while I was developing The Doors That Led to Nowhere. That's part of the reason why The Doors That Led to Nowhere is free. I sort of rushed it because it started as a challenge. Some friends and I did to make a game within a month. I made the demo to The Doors within that month, and then I wanted to come back to it later and finish it, so I gave myself 3 months to finish it, and then after that I told myself I'll just move on to the next project. So here we get this unknown caller. Wrong number. And here we have Sputnik sleeping next to us. He's a good boy. Also, we're playing Rhythm Realm on the TV. But then this jerk hijacks her TV, wakes Sputnik up. He was just trying to sleep, man. That's crazy. So anyways, we shocked ourselves with our own TV. And now we're back in the plane, which is the name of this alternate reality. There's a chest behind us when we spawn in. And that's the only thing in this room. So jump pad, void jump, remembrance. If you don't have remembrance, use the jump pad combined with lightning flux and void jump. So now we are in the Entropic Skies. A sentry over there who stands no chance against us, because he is not that guy. Jump up here, dash. He's trying to shoot us through the floor. Okay, he actually almost did for a second there. But there are no projectiles in this game that can phase through walls, so rest assured. So we see an optional chest over here that is guarded by 3 Megachroma soldiers. These are the red soldiers. That did a lot more damage than I thought it would. Because I have 38 strength, that's pretty crazy. If you don't have a bunch of strength, then those guys you fight, they'll come at you in one direction. You dash through them, void rip, walk away, dash through them all, walk away. Standard procedure. I'll demonstrate with this knight. Dash, void rip, dash, walk away, void rip, dash. I dashed too early there. When he's charging you, notice how he fired his projectile while he was charging me. If he charges you for more than 3 seconds, there's a chance he will just shoot his projectile, so you really want to dash through him within the first couple seconds of him charging at you. Otherwise, he'll shoot that projectile, which homes in on you for a second. And here we find our first Megachroma Marauder. The Megachromas are exactly the same as the regular Achroma counterparts. They're just slightly bigger, bulkier, deal more damage, and have bigger projectiles. Other than that, it's just standard procedure. Dash through them and, just grab all over them because you're that guy. Or gal, I don't know. So we have a couple options of where we want to go next. Well, really only one option. However, if for whatever reason you need to go back to the world tree, we need to deactivate this barrier. We come up here, shoot that lever. Get this little chest hidden behind this pillar. And there's the door to the world tree down there. To get back up, if you don't have remembrance, remember it's just double jump and lightning flux combined. And that building looks peculiar over there. However, even with remembrance, it is impossible to make it over there. Well, I'm not going to say impossible. It's probably impossible. I have tried it before. I'm not going to demonstrate for this walkthrough. You are welcome to try it yourself, though. To make it to this spire over here, it is you dash, hit the blink energy, dash, hit the crystal. That will teleport you to that blink energy. Attack that, dash to that one, then dash and use your remaining double jump or lightning flux. You need to have at least one of them. Unless you have remembrance, then this whole section becomes a whole lot easier. And there we go. Don't let me forget that chest over there, yeah? I'm talking like I'm streaming, but this is a pre-recorded playthrough. Master, you have returned. So here we fight Einherjar, which was the creature that was guarding Emma earlier. He called us Master. I wonder why he did that. So here he starts the fight with 2 attacks. A ranged attack and a telegraphed teleport attack. He'll either teleport behind you or in front of you. It's a 50-50 chance. To dodge the range attacks, just stand near the edge of the platform and they can't reach you if you're just walking in a circle. You'll always teleport back to the center stage. If you linger in his face for too long, didn't do it there, but if you linger in his face for too long, he'll just do a melee attack against you. The green slashes he starts using once it gets down to 2/3 health. The blue slash, you just need to blink through. Easiest to avoid this attack just by double jumping, because he will only teleport on the ground. That is Einherjar. So remember, just stay near the edge of the platform so you have more time to dodge his projectiles, and double jump when he does the teleport attack. We unlock Void Flash. Inspired by the 4th Hokage's flying Raijin, we can teleport to our Void Rip. If you have Remembrance, it teleports to the second Void Rip that gets fired. It's easier to gauge how far the Void Rips are by looking at the color of the fog. So now that we have Void Flash unlocked, we can traverse the skies a lot easier and reach areas we couldn't before in true Metroidvania fashion. Note that you can cancel Void Rip by attacking. So, over there leads to a super boss. We will come back to that. For now that we have unlocked Void Flash, we can access anywhere in the game. Aside from, of course, that door that's still blocked off. If we go back to the Achroma Temple, remember how Void Rip could fit through that little slat in the wall? That right there, that's where we need to go. However, this area is now guarded by Megachroma soldiers and Gigachroma soldiers. Gigachromas are the same thing, they're just slightly stronger and slightly bulkier. Now that we're in the late game, Growing Void is one of your most important attacks. It will let you attack from a distance. It also does a lot more damage than your standard melee attack. So, this little optional area, there's a couple ways we can go about reaching that Chaos Orb. We can either use Remembrance, then Lightning Flux. If you double jump, you'll bonk your head on the spikes in the ceiling and die. However, if you Lightning Flux, you need to wait a little bit before you Lightning Flux. You need to fall just a little bit, not too long, so you hit your head, hit your footsies on these spikes. And to make it back, Void Flash, and then blink through the wall. To make it through here, you can either use Remembrance. If you don't have Remembrance, oops. You can dash, and that will make your Void Rips go faster. You need to dash so the Void Rips are fast enough to make it through these gates. If you have Remembrance, just double dash. It's a whole lot easier. They will kill you if they touch you. So there's a switch over there that will open up the gate to an optional room. That switch is guarded by 4 Gigachroma soldiers, or 2 Megachroma and 2 Gigachroma. You can activate it from over here though, so you don't need to proc that fight. To our left is a chest. Over here is a lever. And that lever's mandatory for where we need to go. That unlocked the room up there. Let's check out this optional room that unlocked. 3 sentries right here. Right now you should be really strong. You should be able to 1 or 2 shot these guys. Mini sentries always drop 1 gem and 1 heart if you need health. And here we have another mini-boss, 2 Megachroma Knights, 2 Gigachroma Knights. So the strategy in the late game is you really want to have your enemies bunched up together, and then once they are, you use Void Rip, and then Void Flash, followed by Lightning Flux. And then you dash out. And then any remaining dodging when your cooldowns are not up, you just double jump. Finish them off with melee attacks and Rending Blink. So 60 gems from that chest. So this main room is very big and open. There's a lot going on here. That gate is where we need to go. It's blocked off by a red barrier. If we come up here, void flash these spikes, trigger this static switch, and that lowers the gate. And then we just void flash through them again. It is possible to teleport into the spikes, so you really want to shoot your void rips at an angle to where they have more space to go. There's a little bit more leeway for when you can teleport. If we go up here, the top right of the map, a Megachroma and a Gigachroma Knight. A gate in the top left of the room. Oops, I accidentally struck the wall. There's also a Soul Orb in the corner of the room, guarded by 2 Megachroma soldiers, 2 Gigachroma. Fun fact, these were all originally regular soldiers, and then a friend of mine said this section of the game was too easy. It still might be too easy depending on how insane your stats are. If we come to the front left, there's a hidden area we can void flash into. Hook ourselves up with some crystals, and you can continuously climb up this ledge and ripping through it easier. In the back left of this room is a hidden room with a single Gigachroma Knight. Sum of gems right there. There's one more thing in this room. Well, 2 more things if you count this chest. On this 4th floor here is a lever. And that moves the gate from the 3rd floor, trapping us in. However, if we stand right here, void flash out. There's a crystal on this 5th floor. And if we go back down to the 3rd floor, we now have access to this Soul Orb. There's also another soldier fight on this floor. Oops. And another chest on this 3rd floor. And that's everything in this main room. There was also that Soul Orb from the temple entrance that I forgot about. I'll need to go back for that. We'll go there after we fight this guy. The seal on the final door has been opened. That is the door underneath the world tree. So our good friend here, who's been stalking us the entire game, now comes to life and he's ready to fight. So we'll give him what he wants. So what you want to do, the combo of Void Rip, Void Flash, Lightning Flux, and dash out. Whenever you see these columns rise up, it means he's about to do that attack. So you need to hide behind these columns. These laser balls you can cut through with Void Rip. There's 3 pots with 15 health each hidden behind each corner. You really want to charge up your Void Rip to its fullest whenever he does that laser ball attack, because your small Void Rips do not have enough health to cut through them. So back to the combo. When he goes to the center of the room, it means he's going to do this little spinning laser attack. When he gets down to half health, he's going to go even faster with that attack. When his charging sound is low pitch like that, it means he's going to do the laser ball attack. When it's high pitch, he's going to do the regular lasers. And then when you see him fly towards the center of the room, it means he's going to do that spammy laser attack. When he gets down to half health, he's going to do this, I don't know what to call it, attack, Judgment, like from Tales of Symphonia. Gets down to half health, he's going to start firing faster lasers at you. So with this attack, you just need to jump over it. You have a little bit of time after the columns rise to get to you, so you can get a little bit more damage. And if you have Remembrance, it makes it easier to go behind those columns. And that is the Jormun Eye fight. So, let's grab that Soul Orb first, and then we'll move on to the 2 super bosses of the game. I did it again, I overshot it. This room, it's hard to tell how your Void Rips are because there's no wall. Oops, I don't have a Void Flash. And I overshot it again. Void Flash actually originally had 10 seconds of cooldown, but then I buffed it to 8 seconds. That way it can be more in line with your Lightning Flux cooldown. Alright, so first we are gonna do the super boss in the Entropic Skies. There's a Soul Orb hidden behind this building. before we take on this fight, actually, we're gonna get the remaining power-ups in the skies. Now that we have Void Flash. Note that if your second Void Flash dies, if your second Void Rip dies, you won't be able to use Void Flash. The reason I'm charging up the Void Rips is because the charged Void Rips move a lot faster than the regular Void Rip. So now we've gotten... well, we've gotten all but 2 orbs in the game. However, we can't access the other 2 just yet. So 3 Megachromas in a tight room, surrounded by spikes. So you always want to make sure you have one of your movement abilities. You want to have double jump or blink or lightning flux active. Because if you're over these spikes without any of those abilities, you're kind of screwed. Unless you... well, I guess you could Void Flash as well. So 4 abilities, 4 movement abilities. But if you're strong enough, you can just do the combo of Void Flash, Lightning Flux, Dash, and you can almost one-shot those guys. All these pots contain hearts, if you had trouble with that last fight. And in this room, you have all sorts of flying pots that have 4 hearts each. They're sort of scattered around the room. Just a flying platform in the middle of an open sky. If you fall, then you'll have to restart the fight. So you don't want to do that. Just stay on this platform. Achroma Cerapter, the first of 2 Superbosses. Shoot arrows that burst into lightning into the ground. They'll shoot homing projectiles at you. Oh, my dead. You can't deal any damage to the Cerapter until you've taken out those knights, and then its barrier will go down. And then we unlock the Tempest Step power-up. And you need to grab this quickly. And now we can double jump infinitely and hold space to glide. It also spawns a lightning strike whenever you blink, which can help deal loads of damage alongside your combo. So the reason I said you need to grab that quickly is because you can say goodbye to that platform. So if you do use blink for damage, you want to put yourself at a distance to where you have time to dodge his next attack. If I wasn't at a distance when he did those arrows, I would have definitely gotten hit by those. It's easy to dodge those just by falling. In this second phase of the fight, whenever he shoots those lightning arrows at you, he'll immediately charge at you. When he teleports into the not teleports, when he dashes into the sky, he'll do that laser attack at you. When he spawns these lightning orbs, cut through the Void Ribbon. So there we fall to dodge those. Notice how underneath my health bar is a new stat for altitude. Around minus 100 altitude, it puts us in the red zone. That means we're in danger of falling into the void and we'll have to restart the fight. So it's best to keep yourself above 0. You can go as high as you want. When he dashes into our face and charges that laser, you can just dash through and dodge him. Now he's going to do a charge attack, so I need to get some distance from him. He's going to charge straight for us. And you can avoid it by falling. That's why it's good to have some altitude. He has one other attack that I can show before I kill him. Let's see if he does it. There it is. When he dashes multiple times, he's going to dash into your face and then throw you up into the sky and shoot a laser at you. You can just dash away from the laser if he does manage to throw you up. When he does that attack, he will dash 2 times, then dash into your face. If he's below half health, he will dash 3 times, then dash into your face. And that is the Achroma Cerapter fight. So just remember, have high altitude, keep a good distance from him, and then charge up your combo. So there's only one other place for us to go before we enter that final door, and that's the Kingdom Outskirts, where we first started our journey. This platform in the beginning, now we have Void Flash, we can finally reach it. So there's a chest on this back left platform over here. And then these guys kind of look like pods, but don't be fooled. They are a Etyrna Sentry scout. They just fly around you and they can shoot lasers. They do have a fair bit of health, since they are only found in the late game. Out there, I was able to kill him with Blink. That's because the Tempest Step spawns the Lightning Strike and it does a lot of damage. And if we come over here... Oops. Here we have the second super boss. These are words from King Etyrna, and if it wasn't obvious already, Etienne is essentially a reincarnation of King Etyrna. This guy was so fun to develop and model. He starts off the fight by charging his teleport attack. Whenever he lifts his drill up, he's going to teleport in front of you, attack twice, then teleport behind you. Whenever he puts his drill at his side, he's going to charge you and you can just dash through it. So here he's going to teleport in front, and teleport behind. These missiles increase their speed, so it's best to just take them out as soon as you can. This fight's pretty easy if you have Tempest Step. When you see his drill glow blue, it means he's gonna fire a void whip at you. When he charges you with his drill, you just dash through it. This fight, it's good to not use Blink for damage, as it's best to as your get out of jail card. He opens the thing on his chest, he's going to fire a laser at you, and he always does this tornado attack after firing the laser. If you have lightning speed, you can just fly in a circle around him to dodge the laser. The laser you need to dash to the side to avoid. And there's one other attack I wanted to show you. There it is. When he teleports above the center of the stage, he's going to fire 4 landmines. You can just walk along this edge to dodge them. Or if you have Tempest Step, you can just fly in the sky. See right there, I dashed through him and he was still under the track. So you want to dash at the last possible moment before he attacks. That is the Radningar fight. Broken abilities in the game. Reduce all ability cooldowns by 50%. So this will make the final boss a complete breeze. Oops. Oops. Something cool there. I wanted to dash to the fountain, drink from it, and then use Remembrance to dash back. I'm not that good at the game, so couldn't do it. Alright, so we have enough money for 4 Chaos Orbs, which would allow us to unlock the, I forgot what I named that achievement. The achievement where you have 50 strength. However, I'm gonna hold off on buying these, just so the final boss isn't too easy. Although it's still gonna be pretty easy with Etyrna's Grimoire. Talk to Callow here. That's one of the things necessary to unlock the true ending. Talk to Bloom here. He tells you his name is John. That is another dialogue required for the true ending. And Etyrna's Grimoire is also required for the true ending. So only 3 things you need to do. There is no cutoff point. Just get the Grimoire, talk to these 2, and you're good to go. Here we have the last stretch of the game. So we're gonna fight 4 knights and 3 marauders. Start off with a combo, and then run along the edge here. And then do it again. You can also just stand on this platform and dodge most of their sides. So these guys have just the exact same AI as the regular Paladin. They just deal more damage, are bulkier, and attack more frequently. If you have Tempest Step, this fight is an absolute cakewalk. Oh, I did forget about a Soul Orb in that other room. It's underneath the platform you fight all the knights on. Sorry about that. So we 99%ed the game. However, I could technically just die here and respawn at the World Tree Fountain, or wherever I last saved. There's a power-up we obtain halfway through this fight. If you die after obtaining that power-up, it will retain after death, so it will make these 2 fights easier. So here we have the big bad, Jormun himself. I've been waiting for him. And he is the source of the hint text throughout the game. He was the one who told us it is spacebar to jump. So he always leads this attack off with this giant laser. Just dash to the side to avoid it. And the second attack is always spawning in 5 Gigachroma. Just want to make sure they're all bunched up. And avoid them once. Note that the only way to gain health in this fight is by killing the marauders, or the eyes that detach from his body. Those giant laser pillars always spawn underneath here, so just keep moving to avoid them. The meteor, when you see his mouth glow red, just get the heck out of the way, however way to put it. And then regular combo of Void Whip, Void Flash, Lightning Flux, dash out. When his portal glows yellow, it means he's going to spawn shake attacks. You just charge up your Void Whip and cut through him. When he bites his tail, he's going to shoot a bunch of lasers from his eyes. The less eyes he has, the less lasers he shoots. So it actually becomes weaker as the fight progresses and more eyes attached around him. When he tilts his neck to the side, he's going to do a sweeping laser attack, so it's pretty easy to dodge if you go underneath him. When you see Etyrna complain that his attacks are too weak, even though I'm giving this guy the business because my stats are crazy, it's going to proc this cutscene. Einherjar is going to sacrifice himself because he's a good guy. So we're gonna absorb Einherjar's soul. And even though we were already crazy broken, we're about to become inconceivably crazy broken. So there's some key differences here. Increased damage, health, speed, jump height, and ability size. Regular attacks emit void rips, and also your charged void rips become bigger. So if we shoot a regular void rip, it's a normally fully charged void rip. If we charge it once, it becomes Einherjar's void rip, and if we charge it to full, it becomes a crazy big void rip. Jormun will start spawning more eyes, in which case you can just take them all out with a single void rip. And if your void rip is on cooldown, just spam left click and go fire regular void rips. Your combo is still effective here in Void Whip, Void Flash, and Lightning Flux. You can use that to just immediately demolish these marauders that it spawns. Also, your your blink travels twice as fast now. So you're able to close the distance on him with Void Whip. That is the Jormun fight, the final boss. And then we just talk to Emma. And this is the final cutscene. Yep, Emma's dead. The end. Nah, not really. only here if we got the tree. Everyone else already left. Alright. And when we go back to the real world, we are greeted by this dog. Look at this dog. And our wife. Is the doors that led to nowhere. If you made it this far into the video, thank you for watching. Thank you for your interest in the game. The link to the game will be in the description, free to play. And I hope you enjoy your playthrough of the doors that led to nowhere. And yeah, that's about it. I'll let these credits play. But wait, there's more. This cutscene is only available if you got the true ending. And that was the doors that led to nowhere. Thank you for watching.